whoever made this satanic and devil-worshipping list should be imprisoned for 18 lifetimes. Henry over freaking Neymar and R9? Are you sick? You see, these lists, I try to ignore them, and you should ignore them. That's what you should do, and I think the best thing is to ignore them. But when it's so egregious, when it's so disrespectful, you have to talk. And I feel that this provides a good opportunity to maybe expose a few players. Because if it is this list, then we wouldn't have to have an exposure session, but now we probably do. Now we probably have to have an exposure session right now. So let's talk about it. So this is obviously, so ESPN did a list of the top 20 greatest football players, they say soccer players, greatest football players of the 21st century. So obviously guys like Maradona, Pele, Van Basten, all these guys obviously can't really say what's up, so because obviously it's from 01 onwards. Let's look 11 to 20. No, sorry. Let's look at no. Okay, let's no. Actually, no. Because it goes in. Messi 1. Okay, yeah, makes sense. Messi. Cristiano 2. Okay, makes sense. So should I be rude now or afterwards? Afterwards. I like that player. I like him. I'm a fan of his. I don't know what that guy is doing in third. I don't know what he's doing in third. And I'm a huge fan of his. I'm a massive fan of his. How's he third? Fourth, Zidane. Fifth, Modric. This is the 21st century. The 21st century. Not the last 5 years or the last 10 years. The 21st century. Mbappe at 6. So you're putting Mbappe over Iniesta in 7th, Xavi in 8th. Lord help me. Lord guide me. Let me not say anything that'll be too egregious or get me cancelled. Please guide me. Please guide me. Please guide me, Lord. Ronaldo Nazario in 9th, Dino in 10th. That is sickening. That is sick. You have to be sick in the head to do that. You have to be sick in the head to do that. A guy who was called El Fenomeno at 9, and a player who literally introduced a whole generation to Barcelona at 10th. 10th. Ibrahimovic at 11th. De Bruyne at 12th. Toni Kroos at 13th. Ramos at 14th. Puyol at 15th. Benzema at 16th. Busquets at 17th. Lewandowski at 18th. Kaka at 19th. I beg. God, make we not go. What's Ibrahimovic doing in 11? Guys, you can't tell me Ibrahimovic has been a better player in the 21st century than Busquets, Lewandowski. So you're trying to tell me that Ibrahimovic has been a better player than Kaká and Neymar? That's what you would have tried to tell me. That's been better than those. Okay, let's now get into this fully. So because the whole point of this, screw this damn list. The whole point of this list is, I think, the disrespect to Neymar. My frustrations of Neymar has always been he should have been more. He should have been more. If Neymar fully achieved what he truly achieved, he's dead. Even without achieving what he achieved and falling well below of what we expect of him, how the heck is he not top 10? How is he after Ibrahimovic and Puyol and Lewandowski? How? You cannot tell me that's Ibrahimovic? That's UCL failure is over Neymar? But let's talk about it because they wrote stuff about it. So let's first talk about Ibra. So what do they say about Ibra? Let me move around. Key accomplishments: 511 career goals. Hold on, career goals. At least scored at least one Champions League goal with 6 teams. You see what these bums are doing? You see what these bums are doing? Because keep in mind, when I read all of these, just keep in mind how they are written. And keep it in mind when we get to what they say for Neymar. Keep in mind how they write this stuff and keep in mind what they say about Neymar. So let me see, with 6 teams, 12 league titles with 5 European clubs, named to UEFA's Team of the Year 4 times, Sweden's leading career scorer. Okay, but Henrik Larsson is better. So is Martin Dahl. I'm taking Martin Dahlin over Ibrahimovic for Sweden. Represented Sweden at 6 major tournaments. I can't help but laugh at how perfect I am. There's never existed an athlete who was as good as Ibrahimovic said he was. But the 6'5" striker did as well as anyone could. And for as long as anyone could. It's approaching that level. He was the purest scorer this side of Cristiano Ronaldo. Oh, great goal scorer, I agree, yes. Ibrahimovic put the ball in the net at least once in 4 different decades, and he kept improving into his 30s. Oh, and he also scored at least 30 goals in all competitions, 6 times between 2011 and 2019, peaking with an incredible 50-goal campaign with PSG in 15-16. Where in this op-ed, in this piece, does it say he never reached a UCL final? He played for Juventus. He played for AC Milan. He played for Inter Milan. He played for PSG. For all those clubs, he played for Barcelona. He never reached the UCL final with any of those teams. Or do you know what's worse? The season he leaves Inter Milan, he's in a swap deal with Africa's greatest ever player, Samuel Eto'o. In that same season, Samuel Eto'o leads Inter to a treble. Whereas Ibra, he didn't really pop off. So how come that isn't mentioned in here? Because shouldn't you say the good and the bad? Because that's what you say when you write someone else. So, because all here is just positive. But where does it say that this man never reached the UCL final? One of the most dynamic goal scorers the game has ever seen. He has the kind of goals that Ibra scored were amazing. Left foot or right foot, volleys, free kick, scorpion kick, an overhead kick from halfway line. His goal repertoire might arguably be one of the best goal repertoires ever. But at his best, playing for some of the best teams in the world, he never guided them to a single UCL final being the superstar. Samuel Eto'o lives. So we move on. Mbappe. Key accomplishments: World Cup winner, 7-time I'm loving it winner. 7-time I'm loving it winner. 4-time French Cup winner. Arguably the best football player in the world right now, Mbappe has followed the path of a prodigy. He made his pro debut at 16, scored his first goal at 17, played for France at 18, and won the World Cup at 19. Hey, don't get on a certain dude. His move from PSG to Real this summer will take him to new heights and will strengthen even more his status to the air of Messi and Cristiano. No. In 2018, Mbappe took the world by storm and became the second teenager in history alongside Pele to score in a World Cup final. In 2022, he made World Cup history with his hat-trick in the World Cup final loss against Argentina. He's just a phenomenon. He's such a generational talent. You just don't see many players like him. He's only 25, but his career is already amazing. Henry said about his compatriots. This is all well and cool, but this shouldn't make you sixth in the 21st century, because that is disrespecting guys that did more and achieved more beyond you. Because remember, you're talking about a guy who has yet to win a UCL. Mate, why the hell are you mentioning 7-time Uber Eats winner? Who cares whether you're a 7-time Uber Eats winner or you're a 4-time croissant winner? Okay, I won the croissant cup 4 times. Who cares? Yo, man, I'm a 7-time Uber Eats winner. What's up, baby? Who cares? That's not anything to be proud about. World Cup, he's already a World Cup GOAT. But what about how he has filled it into 2 Euros? How about the fact that he's never won the Champions League? So a guy who's never won the Champions League, has never won the Euros, his only achievement is what he did at Monaco as a 17-year-old and what he's done in 2 World Cups. That shouldn't make you 6th. Now, that should put you in the conversation already, but it can't put you 6th. And it can't put you ahead of freaking Iniesta and Xavi. It's like Iniesta and Xavi, don't see, these guys have 2 Euros and a World Cup between them. No, sorry, 2 Euros, a World Cup, a treble. I think they'll have like 2 trebles between them. How do you put Mbappe over Iniesta and Xavi? That is psychotic. But Iniesta, Xavi, and Busquets 100% have to be ahead of Mbappe based on what they've achieved. So again, it just shows you that this is just a popularity contest. And these are just morons who make these lists. Now let's talk about, this is where it gets really bad. Thierry Henry. Key accomplishments. FIFA World Cup winner, UEFA Euro winner, 2-time Premier League winner, La Liga winner, 2-time FA Cup winner, UCL winner, Liga winner, Copa del Rey winner, Club World Cup winner. Henry revolutionized the role of the number 9 in football. No, he didn't. That was actually Ronaldo. And Henry even said to himself that he was the big reason why he played striker the way he did. This is the guy that single-handedly revolutionized the striker position. And if his needings gets grenaded, he would have been fully Henry before it was Henry. But he was already Henry before it was Henry. The first footballing striker who changed how we viewed strikers, where strikers are just not finishers, was Ronaldo freaking Nazario. He was the first true modern striker, and Thierry Henry copied his blueprints because Henry said it himself. Tall, quick, physical, intelligent, determined, arrogant, and charismatic. Okay, so arrogance and charisma helps your case for a footballing top 20 list. Got it. He represented a new generation of strikers. One of the greatest sportsmen of the generation. He won pretty much everything possible and scored unforgettable goals during his career. But his most amazing feat is undoubtedly going the whole Premier League season unbeaten with Arsenal in 2004. Yeah. Well, he didn't do it to himself, but he was part of that. He was outstanding in that campaign, leading his team to an achievement never repeated since in modern English football. I believe Thierry was on the same level as Pele and Maradona, definitely. He was an exceptional football... No, Pele, heck no. He was an exceptional football player, but as well a combination of a modern player, huge physical talent, technical talent, but as well special intelligence. He was one of the greatest players I've ever seen. He's former coach of Wenger. Okay, that was Wenger tax. Henry is the greatest Premier League player ever. 100%, I agree. And Henry, using R9's blueprint, was definitely one of the most revolutionary strikers that we've seen, using R9's blueprint. That I agree. What he did for the inevitable season, one of his greatest feats, that I agree. So again, context, because we use context on this channel. That UCL that he won, completing the sets, you do realize that he was a side chick. Samuel Eto'o and Messi were 1A and 1B of that attack, and he was a side chick that was tagged along. His contributions didn't even come close to what Messi and Eto'o did in that attack, to close to what Iniesta and Xavi did. The World Cup 98, he was a side chick to the side chick in the 98 World Cup. That 98 World Cup was about Jokayev, was about Dugarry, Deschamps, Thuram, Desailly, Zidane, not Givash, Bartes, Blanc. You could name pretty much 5, 6, 7 players before it even comes to Henry, because Henry was still a pace merchant in 98. And I mean that with all due respect, he was still a pace merchant in 98, so he was hardly part of that World Cup. 100% he said what's up in those Euros. Cool. So that whole thing of saying World Cup winner, context, he had next to no zero contribution for that World Cup. So it hardly counts. I don't want to do this. I'm going to answer your question. Guys, you can do your Googles. I'm just going to ask this question and you can do your Googles. So a guy who is voted third best player in the 21st century, has Thierry Henry ever scored in a major final? Has Thierry Henry ever scored in a major final? World Cup final? Euro final? UCL final? FA Cup final? The third best player in the 21st century. I surely hope the third best player in the 21st century has scored at least in one major final. I may be wrong. But I don't think Thierry Henry, who they're telling me is the third best player in the 21st century, has scored in a major final. Yeah. And now we get to Nene. Key accomplishments: Champions League winner, 2-time La Liga winner, 5-time Uber Eats winner. Hold on, there we go. 5-time FIFA Puskas Award, a 2011, that's crazy goal with Santos. Brazil's all-time top goal scorer. The boy prince has never quite grown into the king of the game. The World Player of the Year award, always seen as an objective, has proved elusive, and he has yet to win a major title with his country. Neymar also is widely associated with antics and excessive diving, but it would be unwise to write off his career as a complete disappointment. He has scored more goals for Brazil than anyone else, a mighty achievement, and he has produced moments of exceptional magic, especially in his time with Barcelona, and there's still further chapters to be written. So the issue with this, though, is, okay, it's fair, it's balanced. You mentioned the good bits and the bad bits. But how come you don't have this balanced write-up with Ibra, who never reached the UCL final, with Mbappe, who has never won the UCL, or with Thierry Henry, who has never scored in a major final? So how's it that we don't pinpoint Henry, Mbappe, and Ibra's failures, but we pinpoint Neymar's failures? That's unfair. Like this, I agree with what he said, but this can't put him in 20th. Despite his failings, on no planet is Ibrahimovic, Mbappe, or Thierry Henry better players in the 21st century than Neymar. Say what you want, and we can be like, he's overweight, he messes with his sister, he does this, he does that. Neymar is at the very least top 10 best players of the 21st century. And I would argue, even with his failings and so forth, you could argue he's top 6 or top 7. Like you'd say Cristiano, Messi. Then you would put in Iniesta, Xavi, Busquets. Then you could maybe throw in a Modric or a Ramos. But Neymar could very easily squeeze in at like 7 or 8. Very easily come out 7, 8. Just based on how amazing he was and how skilled he was. He stood out. He still stood out. For what he did for Santos, for what he did for Barcelona, and the moments for Brazil, he still stood out. So despite his failings and him underperforming based on what he was supposed to do, because Neymar was supposed to define a generation. 100%, he was supposed to define a generation. People disagree with this. Neymar was as talented as Messi. 100%. Like, forget Cristiano, I respect him. I respect the guy and I respect what Cristiano has done, and he is definitely one of the greats. But the guy who was closest to Messi's talent was Neymar. Neymar was as talented as Messi. And if Neymar fully achieved what he achieved, he should have said, what's up? Because the greatest 6-7 minutes I've ever seen of the player in a clutch moment was a miracle at Camp Nou. What Neymar did in those last 6-7 minutes against PSG, the penalty that Messi refused to take because he couldn't take the pressure, Neymar took that penalty, the free kick, and that insane floated pass with his weaker foot to Sergio Roberto, giving Sergio Roberto a career that he didn't deserve. That moment counts as anything that Ibra or Henry has done, because for Mbappe, let's be real, like what he did in that World Cup final, okay, let's be real. But those moments translate anything that Henry and Ibra has done. Remember, and that came in the UCL. Now, Henry has that amazing goal he scored against Real Madrid, but as amazing as that goal was, Henry doesn't have a more iconic UCL moment than that Neymar moment against PSG. Ibra sure as hell doesn't have an iconic moment in the UCL as much as Neymar does. So what are we doing here? What are we doing here? And Henry sure as heck doesn't have an iconic World Cup moment. Ibra doesn't have an iconic World Cup moment. Do we want to keep it a stack? They lost the game, yes. They lost the game, and maybe we have forgotten. Ibra and Henry do not have an iconic World Cup moment. That goal by Neymar against Croatia, that was an iconic goal. And an iconic moment that neither Henry nor Ibra has done at any World Cup. Like, the only person that has Neymar beaten kind of World Cup iconic moments is Mbappe. Like, for Mbappe, I mean, hat-trick, 2-piece against Argentina, youngest goal scoring World Cup final. So it's too much. But Neymar does have way more iconic UCL moments than Mbappe. So Neymar being 20th, it's a disgrace. See, you could argue Mbappe over Neymar. You can make that argument due to World Cup tax and just how heavy World Cup tax is. You can argue Mbappe over Neymar. Like, that's an argument. I will not accept Ibra and Henry over Neymar. No. Like, for me, Neymar is the better player than Mbappe, but I feel Mbappe has had a greater impact purely due to World Cup tax. Neymar as 20th is insane. And I think what this shows is, you see, for me, as I said again, my thing with Neymar is anger that he didn't achieve what he wanted to achieve. But it has never been dislike. I know he is that dude. Vini ain't it. Rodrigo ain't it. That bombass, what's it called? Richarlison ain't it. Neymar is that dude. Neymar, this is what Romario is talking about. This is the guy to follow R9, Romario, Dino, Pele, Garrincha, Zico. It's him. So, and we all know it's him. That's why we are frustrated that he didn't do what he was meant to freaking do. But based on what he did in the game, you can't put him 20th. You can't put him 20th. That's insane. So we're going to have a hangout about this. We're going to discuss this weekend, probably like on Sunday. We'll have this discussion because guys are smoking. Henry over R9?